Welcome my allies from all around. This is Frontline and today we are going to be doing another episode on Craftaway. You may recognize this place from the last episode, or I believe it's the last episode. It's been a while since I've recorded. So this is going to be a Christmas district, or I guess I called it a winter district before. It's basically going to be Christmas themed. If anyone has any suggestions on how we can integrate other holidays into it, of course we'd be able to do that, but for now I'm just going to work on it as though I'm celebrating my own holiday, which is in this case Christmas. So I'm going to be able to build all kinds of stuff. I was going to build this little section here, like have a snow fortress and stuff for the entrance, but I think what I'm going to be doing, since I actually ran out of a little bit of time this week, is I'm going to continue to create a bridge for this episode. I'm going to create paths around this place and basically create the structure and layout for how this place is going to go. So I'll catch you back up once I've done a little bit more progress on that, and we'll see how it actually ends up turning out. Okay, so I was going to get started with the paths, but the thing that crossed my mind is that I don't actually know how big this area is, or at least I didn't know how big this area was until I ended up mapping this thing out. So obviously I scouted out the area and I saw, hey, this is a really nice large snow biome, and it still is, even though it's a little bit smaller than I thought as it leads into basically nothingness down here. I also realized that in this corner here there is a lot of snow biome that I never actually mapped out. It kind of keeps on going that way. So what I think I'm going to do is kind of create like a wall diagonally here, so that like it almost like a mountain range in some ways. Oh, actually that'd be a lot cooler than just a wall. At first I was just thinking I was going to have like a mound of snow, but having actual like mountain range might be a cool thing to have over there. That's just something I'm going to have to decide later on. But for now, it's going to be that's going to be the border. I'm going to be able to create pathways around here, and hopefully that's what I'm going to be able to do and figure out exactly where everything will be. I think I'm going to have like a central build, like right like in the intersection of these maps, maybe a little lower, somewhere like in the center of the town. We'll see how that goes. I think that mapping out definitely did help, and this is definitely something that's going to be inside of the main building that you first see when you come into this district. So I'll just keep updating that map as I keep on making progress, and I'll see you once that progress has been made. Some of you may recognize where I am, and for those of you who don't, you obviously have not been seeing Racecrafter's videos. He is another member on the Craftaway Realm, and he's actually created this farm. Now, I don't think he designed it. If I remember correctly, I think, and again, this is an I think, it was designed by One Man One Game, which is kind of a common theme on our server, or our realm, I guess, that a lot of things are designed that way. But you may be wondering why I'm here, and I've actually been here for a while. One of the reasons was because I needed just a little bit of string. Turns out I actually needed to AFK for a while as I was doing other things. And yeah, a lot has happened since then. Apparently, skeletons have also been spawning in here because there's spider jockeys. And in the background, you can probably hear a dog because I am actually in a new location. I know I haven't mentioned a lot of that stuff, but it's like I've actually like done a lot of random stuff since the last time like you've seen me in the last episode. Right now I'm Zane, because like right now I'm actually recording in a new location. If you've been following my Instagram, you've seen that yes, I am using the old setup that I used to have a while ago, no longer in a separate location. And yeah, a lot of that has been going on. Like I was saying before though, I was AFK. All of this stuff was in here beforehand, so I didn't really want to take anything that really wasn't mine or that I didn't produce with the farm myself. But it turns out I produced a lot more than I thought I was going to, and this may or may not be a good, well, this will be a good thing, and that's because there's been something I've been meaning to do for a while here. My Frontline redstone box This side here, completely pointless, because the cobblestone, the stone, and the spruce wood planks are all things that are inside of my box of rocks and my wood logs boxes, so I don't really need a stockpile of those for whenever I'm like crafting random redstone pieces. What I really need is, well, storage space. First of all, I'm going to be able to put away all this like random junk that I've accumulated over time here, hopefully. And what I'm going to do is actually craft some of this, not all. And we might actually craft 2 stacks for now, because I might do a little bit more AFKing here in a bit. But what we're going to do is craft a bunch of wool, so that in the end, this can be our basically like redstone stuff to put on. Our redstone blocks, like not redstone blocks, but I don't know what to call it. It's like the stuff that you put redstone on to make your circuits more organized. Of course, I could have them be colored, and it might be a good idea to have that at some point. If I get another shulker box, I can have it with all kinds of different colored wools and stuff. But for now, I'm just going to have white wool, so that if I ever see white wool just out in the wild, it's like, okay, that's like a redstone contraption of mine. That'll be fine. And I'm just going to keep on getting a little bit more string here, so that I can actually tell you guys why in the world was I using string, because I just realized I never actually told you the reason. Alright, so this is the start that I have made on the actual area. So I haven't actually shown you the paths I've been making, but as you can see, I have just a nice little area. I've got lights on the side, end rods, propelled by glass panes. I'm not sure if I should stain them. I mean, at the moment, if you just glance, it doesn't look like much is holding up the rod, so it almost kind of looks like they're floating. I don't know if that's a cool effect or if it's a weird effect. I'm just going to classify it as an effect, and yeah, well, we might adjust it later, but for now, we're thinking about this path. So when I was creating these lights, it was meant as a way to be able to hopefully melt the snow around the area. It doesn't seem to actually melt that much around the area, if I'm to be completely honest. But one thing I've noticed is that it seems as though the snow doesn't actually land that much on the actual packed ice. It seems to mostly land, well, first of all, on the grass, but second of all, it lands on the blue ice, which is just weird to me, how it just targets the blue ice out of everything. And that's actually the reason why, I wanted to use the string, because if you don't know, well, I guess a lot of people would know, but if you don't, string is placeable down. That's one of the functions that happens in tripwire hooks. And when you place it down, it's barely visible. It's a lot more visible than some other versions of Minecraft, in my opinion at least, but theoretically it should be invisible enough so that if you're just strolling about, you don't even notice that there's just random bits of string around here, and the effect of the blue ice kind of giving off its own unique flare across the path here should hopefully not be as ruined as it kind of was beforehand, where just every time there is a piece of blue ice, it just gets covered, kind of like right there. I don't think there's a piece right there. But yeah, I'm going to keep on doing this, and after that, we're running into a bit of a problem in that this is taking a lot more resources than I thought was going to be taking. Like, apparently I can't jump onto that. This whole entire thing, like, I tore away, I think, like 2 icebergs or something to be able to create this path leading round. And it is a long path, it's a nice path, but I need more, and it takes a really long time to get more, so it's really going to be a matter of me against the clock again here, hopefully being able to get the whole thing done. It's not like I have a lot more time this episode than I did the last episode, so hopefully it shouldn't be that big of a deal. But once again, I'm getting to that point where I'm all like, oh man, this is a large project, and it'd be really great if some of the other Castaway members could perhaps help me out. I need help. This area is so massive. I can't do it on my own. It's meant to be a community area anyway, so if anyone's out there, please make sure that you assist me on my struggle and make sure that I don't keep placing string in every single place except for the place it needs to be placed. So I'm going to keep on working on this, and I will see you in the next clip here. Oh, really? Oh, I actually had the exact right amount of string apparently, although maybe not, I don't know. I could have missed a few of these blocks because again, they're getting like covered up quite frequently, so I don't know. I'm going to have to like make sure that if they ever get covered up that I put down a piece of string so that, you know, it doesn't ruin the effect or anything like that. Okay, so I have made a little bit of progress on the path over there. I was able to gather tons and tons of packed ice and a little bit of blue ice. It seems as though the icebergs don't have that much blue ice, although they do have some. I'm probably going to have to craft some blue ice if I'm going to finish the paths, but nonetheless, I actually want to take a little break from the paths just to make sure that I got this right. So right here, you may be wondering what this is. This is going to be the center, I believe. It's going to be close to the center at least. So on the map, I don't think that there's an easy way for me to show it. Oh, I can. Okay, so right here is where we are. This, in the scheme of the large map, is basically like the center of the island kind of area, and it also seems very fitting. Right here is the flattest place in what seems to be the entire snow biome. Maybe there are some flatter places, but this one's nonetheless a very good location. And what we're going to have here is a Christmas tree. So let's go ahead and put down my ender chest so that I can go ahead and grab some wood logs, because what we're going to be doing here is we're actually going to put some wood on top of this first and then put some dirt so that when we go ahead and grow ourselves this tree, it'll be slightly elevated. Now, we're probably not going to get this first try, but what I want to happen is for a tree to grow that has the leaves directly like under it, or maybe even just a little bit taller, in which it looks like Christmas tree shape. I'm not going to build a Christmas tree by hand. I don't believe that that will be necessary for this build. With my luck, that's actually not bad, but it's a little bit too tall for my liking. I think we're going to try and get a better one, and we're going to try and make sure that this thing will end up working out and will be a nice, good little center to our town. And it'll also give me a little bit of spruce wood, because I think that's also something I might need eventually here. So we'll catch you back up once I get a good tree, and hopefully we'll be able to decorate it and do other stuff with it a little bit later. Okay, so we're finally able to get one. This one right here, once I get rid of the dirt around the sides and stuff, and I just place down some spruce there, you can see, bam, we have a pretty decently sized tree. I guess maybe it could have been a little bit larger, but I think it's still a decent size. Like if we have a nice little path around here, some decorations around the side, I think it's still a decently sized tree. I mean, it's still, like, how many meters is that? Like, at least like 15, if not more. So in real life, this would make a lot more sense than if I made it bigger. So I'm just going to keep it like this for now. I'm going to decorate it, maybe even put different chests around here to be able to house everyone's gifts so that they can all be under the tree. We'll see how all that works. We could have maybe even just random gifts everywhere, like there will be like a to and from on them, or maybe just one chest per person, or I don't know. I'm kind of like not sure as to how that's going to work, but I'm just going to work on the rest of the town first, and we'll figure that all out later. It's hard for me to decide if I like the fact that in Bedrock Edition, snow piles on top of other snow. Like, on the one hand, I think it's really cool, and it just gives like this variety of randomness inside of the world. But then it comes to these areas that I've been in for a while now, and it's almost too much variation that some of them are like a lot taller than like half slab size. Like this one right here is so large that I can't even like jump on top of this block anymore. It's almost like you need like a snow plow to be able to go ahead and clean this thing up so you can actually like go across the terrain. But I guess maybe that's one reason why we have the path anyway. You don't have to really worry about the stuff around the sides and things. And I mean, you can somewhat melt the snow around it. It really doesn't seem to melt much around it, does it? It just, there's this light source here that has only melted basically like a star shape around where it is, which is not what my original intention was, but I guess that's what it ended up being. So, yeah, who knows what's going to happen with that. I feel like we might need like a snowplow service to actually clean this up a bit so that it's not like too varied all over the place. But nonetheless, I'm going to continue making the paths so that people don't have to worry about traversing the actual snow on foot, and that they'll be able to just kind of go along and work their way around, get to the tree, get over there, and all that kind of stuff. Alright, so between clips, I have made some progress on what I'm going to be doing here, and also I've made progress on a live stream. So I did a live stream, and right in front of me is what we were able to do. We were able to continue down our path this direction. I placed the different pieces of string all along here and all that kind of stuff, so it's pretty nice. You can see the different trees and stuff they're all about. I think that any area that's not going to be built up should have the trees around it. And here is a perfect place for there to at least be just normal trees around here. Even though this area is supposed to be kind of a built-up place, it's just like underneath the Christmas tree. And I think that having it be more natural might be kind of cool. So you may notice also that the Christmas tree is a little taller. I think it's fine. Obviously, like I could change it at some other point, but I think that we might eventually decorate it if you guys like how it turns out. I'm really thinking that this area will be really cool by the time we're done with it. And let's just give you a sense of what I did during that live stream. So obviously I made actual like physical progress, made some progress on being able to go ahead and create paths all around the place and templates for paths around the place. But one of the main things I did was map out the area. So on top of this hill, I believe that's going to be Santa's house. We're going to have like a whole entire Santa's village type thing up here. So there's going to be like reindeer stalls and all that kinds of stuff around here. Ones for like Rudolph and all that kinds of stuff. Down here, I'm hoping we'll be able to build a giant factory. Again, all these things that I'm mentioning, it doesn't have to be me that's building them. I'm just saying that it's like, this is the type of thing that I'm envisioning is going to be happening for this district, because this is a community project. I'm hoping that other Castaway members will take it upon themselves to be a part of the community and help me out here. So on top of this hill, we can actually see a lot of things. Over there, I think is going to be a kind of a pseudo gaming district, like not a real gaming district, more like having lame kind of mini games, like Snowball Fight. Well, not lame. I mean, it's going to be kind of lame. Some of them. Like, I came up with the idea of pin the tail on a Santa, and if you don't think that the idea is lame, well, then you're just about as lame as me, and take that as you will. So, over down there, there'll be random kinds of games and stuff. There you can see I am building a wall. I think I mentioned that previously. I forget if I did or if I mentioned that in a live stream, but that is going to be the border of the entire area. And if we go on this way, the circle I was creating earlier with all the different lights and all the other stuff that I started on immediately, that is going to be a housing district. There's going to be random houses, but there's also going to be houses that are going to represent different castaways. Like, that's basically their holiday home. Hopefully some castaways will be able to build them themselves, give a little bit of flair to the place. And of course, I'll try and come up with some designs for other houses that may not actually have real residents in. But other than that, this is the, well, actually the second to last, because I forgot to mention one other thing. Over here is going to be a shopping district, so it can have like last minute gift ideas. It can have, what was another thing, like a chocolate stall, a nutcracker shop, that just stuff that can do with like the holidays and that kind of a thing. I think would be a really good thing to have over there. Over here though, because obviously there's a giant blank area here, I think that this would be a really nice place to have a candy cane forest, because it's right next to Santa's workshop. It's just a nice little mystical idea that kind of goes along with it. And it's snowing now. It's a Christmas miracle. So yeah, that's just kind of my idea. Ooh, it's a baby polar bear. We do not want to see any mama polar bears around here, because otherwise they'll most definitely start attacking. But yeah, that's kind of the idea that I was having for this place. Hopefully you guys will enjoy the progress that I make in this place. I have, let's see, how many episodes do I have left of the series? Let me look at my calendar. This episode will be the first, or it's the second of 4 episodes I'm making in this district. So we will have the 17th, and we'll have Christmas Eve is another a date that a Craftaway episode will release. So stay tuned for all of that. We'll be able to make lots of progress here. Also, if you don't know, there's a bug in, well, I consider it to be a bug, but there's like some kind of weird glitch thing that happens in the Bedrock Edition where if you're below sea level or on sea level, you don't see the snow, but obviously you're seeing that like snow is packing up on top of the stuff. See, you saw like stuff appearing all around here. But yeah, that's kind of me getting distracted, but I'm hoping that they fix that, because I kind of don't like when it's snowing, but I can't see snow until I actually run over here, and then it's like, okay, yeah, now it actually looks like it's snowing all over again. So despite that being kind of a large tangent, I hope you guys did enjoy this episode. I would promise that this episode would go on forever, but that would be a lie. And look at those trees. Look at how awesome the trees look when it's snowing. Anyway, subscribe to the channel for more content like this to be able to see other progress in the gaming district and other episodes of Craftaway. If you did enjoy the video, be sure to leave a comment and tell me what you thought about the video, things I can improve, things you might not have liked about the video, and that kind of thing. Apparently it's thunderstorming, but that's fine. And until next time, this has been Frontline, and I will see you guys all later. Bye.